Good morning. This is the Great Basin uh, prescribed fire, smoke transport, and weather briefing for this Wednesday, October 26th, where we take a look at the weather in general for the next 7 days, looking at the past as well, and seeing what we're expecting, and a specific leaning towards prescribed burning, but overall weather conditions as well. Looking at observed precipitation the past 7 days, looking quite wet. We've had a couple storms come through. The greens are a half inch to over an inch. The lighter blues are a tenth, a quarter inch. You can see just about the entire area has had precipitation. You can see mostly above normal. The only below normal areas in the far west and south, where they just had scant amounts, some areas none at all. The moisture and cool temperatures have taken a significant hit on the fuels here. You can see the greens are where the 100-hour fuels are above 15%. Only areas where we are below 10% on the 100-hour fuels are these golden areas in our far western and southwestern areas of Nevada. Otherwise, things are pretty moist. Looking at the overall drought monitor, you can see quite a bit of improvement across the Colorado River Basin, where we were in extreme to exceptional drought. We are now in severe to moderate drought, which sounds bad, but it's actually quite an improvement over 6 to 9 months ago. Our most drought-stricken area is still in central portions of Utah, parts of central Nevada, but things are improving. We've had a wet but also a cool spell, and we've expanded snow cover across our higher terrain, across parts of Idaho and western Wyoming, mostly above 5,500 feet, and down south here also above about 6,000 feet. We have anywhere from about 2 to 8 inches, in some cases over a foot of snow cover, where you see these light shades of blue. We are still in that cool, stormy pattern. Another storm system, you see the kink in the height lines here over parts of northern Oregon. Lots of moisture pushing across parts of Idaho. Another push of moisture across northern Nevada, pushing into Utah later today. Will bring a change in our weather. You can see by later this afternoon, this evening, the moisture in eastern parts of Idaho, western Wyoming, and parts, at least the northern half of Utah, our 7-day, which we still run periodically throughout the wintertime, mostly in the green, except for the far southwest. You can see that our winds, transport winds, quite strong, gusting 30 to locally 40 miles per hour. You see the purples to orange shades, lesser amounts, the primary direction being out of the northwest. You can see our minimum humidity is quite high. So in terms of lighting for prescribed burning, pretty much going to be difficult in most areas unless you get into the southern half of Nevada, maybe far southern Utah. Transport winds, mixing heights, I should say, best in western and southern areas where there'll be at least 3 to 5,000 feet above ground level. Here's our Thursday map, 7-day, no big changes. We do see here on the left, high pressure building in, much drier air given by that tannish shade as our low pressure area moves into New Mexico. You can see we start drying things out, our minimum humidities, drying out across Nevada and even into parts of southern Idaho. So that could be some good news for burning. Winds overall fairly light. Some gusty southwest winds still continuing across southern areas. Transport winds overall, mixing heights still improving a bit here, several thousand feet above ground level. So maybe a good burn day on Thursday if the surface fuels can dry out. Friday, we're still dry. Another stream of moisture starts pushing into our far northern areas. You can see the transport winds increasing, gusts of in the 20s to near 30, and the higher peaks in Idaho, lesser amounts further south, mostly out of the south. The humidity is drying out quite a bit, so that could be better news for burning. Vertical mixing heights also pretty good, especially across western and northern areas. So overall, probably some good burn conditions the next couple of days. 3-day precipitation totals, most of this will be in the next 24 hours or so. You can see that a tenth of an inch, or locally a quarter inch or so across the higher terrain of northern Utah, eastern Idaho, and western Wyoming, also the Idaho mountains. Now, for the weekend, we still have dry weather mostly on Saturday, but some moisture starting to push into Idaho, maybe some light precipitation. We dry out again more on Sunday, but a stronger cold front starts approaching, and you can see it by Monday. It's kind of starting to coalesce with this deeper low dropping out of the Gulf of Alaska, and by Tuesday, that low really blows up, pulls in all this moisture, brings in some moderate to locally heavy precipitation for the Sierra, northwestern Nevada, pushing into Idaho. This will be a big, slow-moving storm system for the middle to latter part of next week if this computer model prognosis holds. Precipitation, days 4 and 5, it's a Saturday morning through Monday morning, mostly dry. But you can see the days 6 and 7, Monday morning through Wednesday morning, widespread valley rains, mountain snows, locally heavy in the Idaho mountains as we go into the middle part of next week. 7-day precip totals all together. And the 8 to 14 day outlook shows continued cooler than normal temperatures and above normal precipitation in all areas. And that concludes our briefing. We'll have our next one on Monday. Typically, we do these Mondays and Wednesdays. Have a great day.